We are no longer the country where corporations are there to provide for the people a product that makes the country better. We are now a country of people that provide for the corporations. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Now ladies and gentlemen, I know and I can see that many people, millions, tens of millions of people in this nation, the United States of America, are in peril. They are hurting. They don't know where their next meal is coming from. Most of them don't. Those that do accept the fact of standing in line or lining up with their vehicles for hours just to get a box of food to get them through the next week. So is this something to celebrate? That the average American who earns less than $75,000 a year or less than $150,000 per couple will be receiving a $600 check within the next few days. As many of you may know by now, that the president signed the relief bill that totals $900 billion, but only 190 or so billion going to the American people. With that all around it, that's exclusive to other nations other than the United States. This, ladies and gentlemen, I consider a travesty. Like I said, I know a lot of people are hurting. However, what is $600 going to do for the average family that's 6 months behind in their rent payments? That's 3 to 6 months behind in their mortgage. What is it going to do for them? It's like putting a little bit of Ambisol on a toothache, knowing that within hours that relief is going to go away and you are going to have to apply more pain relief to that tooth. The president signs the relief bill with $600 checks and asks Congress to approve increase later. Ladies and gentlemen, we are nothing but pawns in a game that is played by governments, the wealthy, and the elite. The president says, I am signing this bill to restore unemployment benefits, stop evictions, provide rental assistance, add money for PPP, return our airline workers back to work, and substantially more money for distribution of the miracle shot, and much more. The definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing and expect different results. This is the second stimulus package that has been signed. The first stimulus package had no effect, and I can say that with confidence. And why is that? Because a second stimulus package had to be signed. And trust me when I tell you, there will be a third, there will be a fourth. If you'll remember back in 2008, when a great experiment begun called quantitative easing, and it was touted as having the ability to cure all that ails us. And since then, there's been quantitative easing 2, 3, and now we are on quantitative easing infinity. If quantitative easing was such a great cure for our ills, why did we have to do it twice, and then a third time, and then now indefinitely, printing money without even asking Congress for permission to print that money? This stimulus bill here is a pittance when compared to all of the money that has actually been printed. This is just what you and I are being told. So who does this stimulus bill benefit? Well, look, the airlines companies, they can stay open now. They don't have to lay off people. However, ladies and gentlemen, in the end, they will lay off people. They will use a lot of the money that they're getting to buy back their own stocks so that they can enrich themselves. We are no longer the country where corporations are there to provide for the people a product that makes the country better. We are now a country of people that provide for the corporations with our labor, with our wealth, which is stolen from us through these types of mechanisms of printing money out of nowhere. The relief package is coupled with $1.4 trillion in funds to run the government through September and includes other end-of-session priorities such as increases in food stamp benefits and funding for the transit system, plus tons of pork, which we noted last week. And we went over that pork that was included in that stimulus package. The bill authorizes direct checks of $600 for people earning up to $75,000 per year. The amount decreases for higher earners, and people who make over $95,000 get nothing. Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, not only do I wholly disagree with the government doling out money, because the government has nothing to give you. The government can only give what it can take from someone else. And yes, someone who's making $95,000 or over a year gets nothing. These are the people that are paying the taxes. This is how it starts. I hope that you understand that when someone is not encouraged to succeed, then innovation stops. Let me give you an example. If someone knows that they're going to get taxed at a higher rate, let's say, for example, I'm going to pick a number out of thin air. Let's say that the tax rate right now, where you don't have to pay any taxes at all into the system, is $10,000 a year. And instead, you actually get money back. So you're tax negative. You get money back at the end of the year because you don't earn enough. Then that is going to incentivize some people to never earn more than $10,000. Then where is the innovation going to come from? Why would someone give of their time, create a talent, and provide a service that will help humanity? It could be anything. It could be a flip-flop. Let's say I invented the best flip-flop in the world and everybody had to have one. And since everyone in the world loved my flip-flops, I made $1 for every flip-flop I sold. And now I find myself making $7 billion because I sold 7 billion flip-flops. But it's the greatest flip-flop that has ever existed in the world, and people love that flip-flop. I consider that a service to humanity. And of course, I'm using a flip-flop just as something easy and silly for you to reference to. But it can be anything. It can be a medicine. It can be some kind of innovation that allows us to use a lot of electricity. It could be something that maybe cures cancer. Why would someone be incentivized to produce something that will help humanity? Because they know that if they make over a certain amount, the government is going to take it from them and give it to someone else who didn't spend the time, who didn't spend the parts of their lives that they had to spend in order to make that product. When the government takes from the minority to give to the majority, innovation halts. Look at Cuba. Everyone that goes to Cuba says, oh, it's such a pretty country. It looks like it's still 1960 in Cuba. Well, there's a reason behind that. The reason that Cuba still looks like it's 1960 is because it's stuck in 1960. There's no innovation. There's no freedom to innovate. There's no incentive to innovate. Why would anyone want to work hard when they get 3 meals a day? We are all pawns in this system, and we will continue to be so until something changes. And the problem I see, ladies and gentlemen, is that change will be extremely difficult and painful. However, change will come, whether we want it or not. I'll finish this off by pointing this out. This is why I think this bill got passed. It's because there is a facade within our financial system, what I would like to call the mirage of wealth, which is within the equities markets. You see, everyone looks at the equities markets, the stock market, the NASDAQ, right? The Dow, the S&P. They look at that and they see it continuously going up. So we must be doing well. People are waking up and they're understanding that that stock market going up does not represent the majority of Americans. It's only a minority of people that are in the stock market. And a lot of those people are in the stock market involuntarily via their pension funds, global stocks jumped and U.S. equity futures spiked in light of overnight trading as the president unexpectedly signed the $2.3 trillion spending package on Sunday evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the stock market loves all of this stimulus, but it has to end at some point. Let me show you one last thing, and then we'll end it. That $2.4 trillion package that was passed, that will be added to this right here. That will be added to this number. If you've been with me for a while, some time back, I told you all that in order for this financial system to continue, that they have to keep printing money out of thin air. And I also remember telling you that whenever you hear someone say that they're printing money, that they're doing quantitative easing, that they're doing stimulus, all of these words, I told you all that you should substitute those words with stealing your wealth, robbing you of your wealth, because that is the only way that this system can continue to operate, is if they continue to rob us of our wealth, because every dollar printed out of nothing gains its purchasing power from all of the dollars that are already in existence that were earned through labor. I'll make a prediction right now that by this time next year, I'll be doing a video with this number right here reaching close to 40 trillion. I would say at the very least 35 trillion. At the very least 35 trillion by this time next year. And the higher this number goes, ladies and gentlemen, the less free that you and I are. And the less free that our children, our grandchildren, and the future generations will be. We are stealing from the future generations. But I understand. What can we do about it when most of the country is in peril? The plan is to get rid of the middle class. And once they do that, I'm afraid that they'll do their great reset, where nobody will own anything. But, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be happy because you'll have your ration book and you'll be able to get your 2 pounds of beans a month along with a dozen eggs. That's where we're headed. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a good week ahead. Thank you very much, and I truly hope that you got something out of this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. I'll be doing a video about this right here later on in the week probably. You see this? Dollar to silver ratio, 4,461. If you all don't know what that means, go ahead and click on the usdebtclock.org so that you guys can understand what this means. I'm going to be going over this. And I'm going to be going over this. Dollar to gold ratio right now, $34,000 per ounce. Dollar to silver ratio, $4,461 per ounce. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place. And you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm the Alaska Prepper. I'm out.